Good morning, student. I'm VN Karnar, PGT Physics from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Shegaon. Now, in the previous class, on the lecture, we have discussed about the forces between two parallel current carrying conductor. Now, in this today's lecture, my topic is torque experienced by a current loop in a uniform magnetic field. Torque experienced by a current loop in a uniform magnetic field. So, therefore, we can say what we have to find out. The torque is experienced by a current loop in uniform magnetic field. So first of all, you should know the basic things which is required here. That is nothing but your uniform magnetic field. That is uniform magnetic field. First thing you should know. Second one, the definition of torque. And you can say the shape of current loop. So first of all, this uniform magnetic field, how we are indicating the uniform magnetic field? Very simple. Whenever the magnetic fields are equidistant and parallel, then that is called uniform magnetic field. Torque is denoted by this one, and you know torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. Torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. So this one will require, and shape of the current loop, generally we are taking here the rectangular one. You can say you can take rectangular current loop, or you can take a circular current loop also. Now we will take a rectangular current loop, uniform magnetic field, and you can say the torque here. So the definition of torque, that is nothing but the force into a perpendicular distance. Okay, so that perpendicular distance, what is the perpendicular distance? Perpendicular distance between the either of the force, that is whatever the force are acting on this loop, then we can say that the perpendicular distance is nothing but the distance between the two forces acting on this particular loop. So whenever we will discuss into detail, that time you will come to know about this torque, uniform field, and shape of the current loop. So here we will proceed for the diagram, and in that diagram we will show each and everything. So very carefully you have to see this diagram, and also you have to note it down. So here the current loop rectangular current loop here, P, Q, R, and S. Then you can say this is the axis around which it will rotate, you can say. Actually, it should be in the center. So let us once again draw this thing. At this point, that is the axis of rotation. Now the current is flowing in this direction, that is, you can say clockwise direction. Then this is the axis. Suppose the coil is rotating like this, and the normal of this coil is in this. This is N, and the uniform magnetic field I will show by the parallel lines which are equidistant. Okay. So these are the magnetic field. Same will be in this direction also. That means the whole loop is placed in a uniform magnetic field. Okay. So here the direction of the magnetic field B, and the angle theta is the angle here between the direction of magnetic field and that of the vector n drawn normal to the plane of the coil. This is the vector n which is drawn normal to the plane of the coil. You are knowing the plane of the coil. Suppose you will take the plain sheet of paper, okay, and just to hold it and draw the perpendicular. Suppose now this one is somewhat tilted here. If you take the paper exactly vertical, then it will look like a straight line only. Then this will be the normal, you can say, to that particular paper. And if you take somewhat portion like this, okay, then for this one, this will be the normal. And same thing I have shown here. Now the next thing is that the force F1, I'm going to show here F1, F2, F3 and F4. These are the four forces which will act on this rectangular current loop. I'm not going to show you here the direction of the forces. We will find out by using the Fleming left hand rule. So the minimum things which will be required here, that is nothing but here you can say the magnetic field, which we are shown by the equidistant lines here, and same thing will continue here also this line. Then the normal to the plane of the loop shown by this n, okay. Then no doubt it's a vector n, okay, vector n, the normal to the plane of the loop. Then PQRS at the 4 are through with the current is flowing in the clockwise direction. So just I told you what you have drawn here, you have to write in few lines whatever you have considered. But our main intention is you have to find the torque. how this loop is going to experience a torque here. That is the thing. So consider here a rectangular loop. Once again, I am giving you the idea about how to write about this figure. You have considered a rectangular loop. So now you have assume here PQRS. Then it is suspended in uniform magnetic field B with its axis perpendicular to the field. With its axis perpendicular to the field. That you can see, this is nothing but the axis which is perpendicular to the field. So perpendicular to the field means magnetic field, no doubt. Magnetic field. The top view of the loop, to view the, now you can see here, if you see this coil is placed perpendicular, then this will be the direction of the magnetic field B. Okay, you can like this, you will get this one. For this arm QR, then for this arm PQ, you can say the direction of the magnetic field already we have shown like this. For this arm also, the direction of the magnetic field in this direction. Okay, for this arm also, the direction of the magnetic field you will get like this. So all these things we have to consider. After considering all these things, we'll proceed now for the equation. तो बच्चों यहाँ पे आपने अभी प्रीवियस लेक्चर में देखा है कि when a current carrying conductor experiences a force in a magnetic field, how the current carrying conductor, suppose if we are having a current carrying conductor and suppose I is the current flowing through this one, then if the magnetic field is there, suppose north pole to south, this is the direction of the magnetic field B, which is perpendicular to the direction of the current, then how it experiences a force, that you can get the direction of the force by using Fleming left hand rule. Okay, and what is the formula for that one? F is equal to BIL sin theta, where this theta will become 90 degree. So finally F is equal to BIL. Now dear student, यहाँ पे जो एंगल थीटा था वो किसके बीच में था? B and I. L is what? Length. Same concept, same thing you have to apply for each arm PQRS. That means PQ arm, QR arm, SR arm and PS arm. So apply this one, and first of all you have to find the direction of the forces. So let's first of all find by using the Fleming left hand rule how the direction of the force are there on this each and every arm of this rectangular loop. Now let me take this PQ. If I have taken this PQ arm, direction of the current is in this direction. Okay, magnetic field, that is the direction of the current, and the magnetic field is in this direction. Now which angle you want to take? You have to take, you see in the vector form we have written F is equal to what is the formula for that one? You have I into that length of the arm PQ cross B. That means vector F is equal to I into L cross B, simply you can say. So L cross B, if you are writing here, that means the angle is between these two. So L is the length of this PQ. So L is the length of this PQ. Now in the figure we have shown the angle here theta between the vector N, that means vector N drawn normal, that is N, and the magnetic field B. But this angle theta is not between this N and B. So this angle is between this. ये angle आपको चाहिए, because Here in the formula, F is equal to BIL sine theta. Theta is the angle between the magnetic field and the current, you can say. Therefore, this angle will be 90 minus theta. Okay, remember here. So many students, they are getting confused about using this angle. Directly they will put here the theta. But in the formula, when we derived that, the force experienced by a current carrying conductor, then in that case, theta was not the angle between the normal and the magnetic field. Normal drawn to the plane of the loop and the B, but the angle was between the, you can say, the arm PQ and the magnetic field. Or here you can say L cross B means the angle between L and B, where I is the current flowing through the conductor. So now I think you might be able to construct the magnitude of the force here. The formula F is equal to, in this case, F is equal to BIL sine 90 minus theta. So F is equal to BIL cos theta. So this one is your first magnitude of the force on, in case of, you can say, the arm PQ, and this force, suppose this is the force F1. Let us indicate this force is F1. Already we have taken F1 here, so this one will be the F1. So F1 is equal to BIL, you can say here, cos theta. Now suppose in this case length is the length of this one is, suppose BC is B and PQ is A. So I can write here, putting the value of this L, F1 is equal to BIA cos theta. This is your equation number 1. This is related to the magnitude of the force F1. But what about the direction? What about the direction here? Now let's apply the Fleming left hand rule for the direction of this F1. Therefore, direction of F1 will be by Fleming left hand rule. So apply here. So whenever now you are applying, so direction of the magnetic field is in this direction, direction of the current is in this direction. So if you apply that one, the direction of the force will be along this, along the axis. That is your F1. Just to apply, you just find out here, you will get the value of the direction of the F1 is along the upward direction, F1 along the axis of rotation, and the magnitude is given by this BIA cos theta. Got it? Now second thing, second one is, now we'll deal for this arm QR, force on side QR, force on side QR. What you can write? General formula, F is equal to I into QR cross B, isn't it? So here the angle between these two, that is the force, suppose F2. So I can write here F2 is equal to I, the length QR is nothing but, so here B into this B. What is the, you can say, sine of the angle? Sine theta. Theta is the angle between, here the magnetic field is in this direction and the current is in this direction. So angle between them is 90. So you can say it will be just theta will be 90. So ultimately F2 is the magnitude of the force F2 is equal to BI capital B, where this B is nothing but the magnetic field and this B is the length of the arm QR. and sine 90 is 1. So this is the value of, or simply you can write in BI. This is equation number 2. Now let us proceed for the direction of. Now the direction of force F2 be given by Fleming लेफ्ट हैंड रूल. तो बच्चों यहाँ पे अप्लाई कीजिए लेफ्ट हैंड. जस्ट here all the fingers of the left hand according to this given thing. So लेफ्ट हैंड जब आप यहाँ पे देखिए, अभी लेफ्ट हैंड आप ऐसे होल्ड कीजिए और यहाँ पे आपको जो 4 फिंगर है इट इज इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द बी, देन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द करंट इन डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन. तो थंब जो होगा वो आपकी तरफ आएगा. ओके आपकी तरफ आएगा मतलब इस आर्म पे आपकी तरफ का फोर्स दिखाई देगा. सो दैट इज द डायरेक्शन इन दिस केस, डायरेक्शन ऑफ F2. दिस इज द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द करंट, यू कैन सी. So F2 will be towards you. So direction of F2 is, you can say, out of this, out of the plane of the loop. Sorry, plane of this screen, you can say, or ultimately paper, you can say, or towards you, or towards. This is just to understand, I have written here, but in the figure you can show, because this is actually not the direction. You will come to know when you will derive the relation for the torque, then that time what should be this direction. Okay, so this F2 is perpendicular to B and I, and in simple language I have written here, when you will apply the Fleming left hand rule yourself, then you will get the direction according to your desktop or laptop, or you can say according to you. So this is the direction of force F2. Now I will go for the force F3. Let me write all these things in a proper way. So जो F3 का मैग्नीट्यूड और F3 की डायरेक्शन क्या होगी, इसके लिए आप थोड़ा ट्राई कीजिए, है ना. तो F3 का मैग्नीट्यूड क्या होगा, उसके लिए हमको SR और RS लेना पड़ेगा. तो ये आर्म आपने SR लिया, डायरेक्शन ऑफ करंट इस तरीके से, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ऐसे जा रही है, बराबर. मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इन द B, करंट I, ये I है. So theta should be the angle between these two, and this angle already we have shown here, this angle, that is 90 minus theta. So here it will be 90 minus theta. Now use the formula F3 magnitude, or you can say F3 is equal to I into RS cross B. So F3 is equal to I into RS. What is RS? You can say side A into B sine, what is the angle? 90 minus theta. So F3, so it should not be any, it should not be there. So F3 is equal to, because already you are writing the cross product, so F3 is equal to I A B cos theta, or in a very proper way you can write B I A cos theta. This is equation number 3. So this is the magnitude of the force F3 here. Now what about the direction? The direction is the direction of the force F3 will be given by Fleming left hand rule. Okay, so apply Fleming left hand rule for this case. Direction of the magnetic field in this direction, the current is in the upward direction. So again, just to hold your left hand in front of you and apply this one. So magnetic field, stretch this stretch the forefinger in the direction of the magnetic field, and the current is in the upward direction, both are perpendicular. So the direction of the force is inward, or you can say this direction, or you can show to this that means it should be inward. Okay, so ultimately I will write this one. The direction is given by this direction like this. It is perpendicular to this I and B. That is the direction of this F4. Now you will see that just you have shown by this side. Now you have changing this side, because that will be clear from you. Here the direction of the F2 and here the direction of the F4. How it will look like, even though you will show to this side also, because the intention is you have to show this F4 direction of the F4 perpendicular to I and B. Okay, so actually if you show that perpendicular, then you will not able to see from this side, because it will be perpendicular to PS, and perpendicular to PS you will not visible from the front side. That's why either to this side or either to this side you have to show, but practically it is perpendicular to I and B. Okay, now you have got these three relation. So F1, F2, F3. Now F1 is about your PQ arm, that is F1, this one. Then F2 is QR, this is your F2 equation number 2. This is SR, F3. Sorry, here actually we have to find the direction of the force on this loop SR. Okay, so actually we have to find it the F4, but okay, we'll take this F4 afterward, force F4, but first of all this F3. So F3 is acting on SR. So if you take this SR, direction of the magnetic field in this direction, direction of the current is in this direction, so the force will be in the downward direction. Force will be in the downward direction. That means along the axis. You can use your left hand, and you can easily find out the direction of the F3 here. So the direction of the F3 is downward and along the axis. So what about the force F1? F1 was direction of the F4 is in upward direction. Along the axis. Direction of F3 is downward along the axis. These are upward, this was the downward. So F1 and F3 are acting along the axis, you can say, and their direction is opposite. What about their magnitude? You see the magnitude, F1 and F3. This is your F1 BIA cos theta, again F3 BIA cos theta. Magnitude is also same. Magnitude is same magnitude, and opposite direction of the forces. Therefore, we can say this coil will not move to either upward direction or downward direction. Understood? Because this force is F1 and this force F3. Both are equal forces and directions are opposite. Therefore, practically, if you hold this PQRS rectangular, you can say a coil in your hand, and if you stretch this side and this side, or if you pull these two sides with the same forces, then this coil will not move either to this direction or upward direction and downward direction. So one thing is clear, this will not move in upward or downward direction, since the direction of the forces are equal and opposite on these two arms PQ and SR. Now coming to the part of, already you have calculated the force on this QR arm. The force is the outward direction, that is your F2. But the direction of F2, it is outward direction. Now F4 already calculated is the inward direction. And what about the magnitude of F2? BIA. And what about the magnitude of F4? Now let us calculate the magnitude of F4. Now here F4 is equal to I into arm SP or PS, you can say, cross SP cross, here you can write here SP cross B. Okay, so F4 is equal to I into SP cross B. So F4 is equal to I into, what is the value of SP? That is B into B sine. What about sine? Sine is angle between these two, B and I is 90 degree. So it will be sine 90. So F4 is equal to BI, capital B, because sine 90 is 1. So F4 you got. Okay. Now you see here F2 BIB, capital B into I into B means magnetic field into current into the length of the side. Similarly, F4 is also magnetic field, current into length of the side. So the magnitude are same. Magnitude are same in both the cases. Okay, F2 and F4. Now you can see the direction. Directions are opposite. F2 is in outward direction. Okay, and F4 is inward direction, and both are perpendicular to that particular loop. In that is for that respective arm. Now this figure. Now I want to explain which one. How that means here the forces are acting. Here QR and PS. The forces are acting. One is acting, F2 is outward direction, and F4 is acting in inward direction. That means the torque will be produced. Here in this case, you see this force F4 and F2, one force is inward direction and one force is outward direction. Therefore, once again, if you hold the coil in your hand, then that time you can be able to see that if you apply the force in these two directions, inward and outward, to these respective sides, then you will get the, you can say, rotation, and that is nothing but the torque. See here, the torque is how the torque is experienced here. Okay, how the torque is experienced, that again I want to explain you. So let us write these things, F1, F2, F3, F4, their magnitude and the direction. So I will write here the magnitude of F1, F2, F3, and F4. What was the F1? F1 is equal to BIA cos theta is equation number 1. F2 is equal to BIB, equation number 2. F3 is equal to IAB cos theta, third, and F4 is equal to so we can say that this F1, magnitude of F1, it was here BIA cos theta. F2, you have got here BIB, then F3 is equal to BIA cos theta, third equation, and fourth equation F4 is equal to BIB. That means these two were equal and those two were equal in terms of the magnitude. But the direction of these two, where F1 was in upward direction and F2 was in downward direction. Okay, therefore they will cancel each other. That means this torque, this coil, one force is acting in this direction, that is your F1, and one force is acting in downward direction, that is F2, sorry, F3. Okay, so this coil will not move either this direction or this direction. Okay, Second one, the force acting here in this direction, that is your F2, and here the force acting in this direction. These two are F2 and F4. F2 and F4 are perpendicular to the respective arm PQRS. Remember. So these two, this F2 and F4, F2 and F4 are perpendicular to this arm. That is the things now I want to explain you with the help of the figure. So this PQ, same I will draw here, this PQ. Suppose I have drag this PQ arm, this PQ. Now the direction of the force actually you are shown in this figure because this coil is little bit having that angle. You can say certain angle with this normal.